Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Daily Dish time? Who's here? I see wise women. Wise Women's Wednesdays. Alice, Deborah, and Kathy already in the house. And here comes Jocelyn. Lovely to have you here. Lovely to have you here. It's a good day to have a good day, isn't it? It really is. It's a beautiful day outside. I think it's in the mid 70s. I'm usually dripping wet by the time I come to this thing. I'm just a little damp right now. Jennifer, hi. Good to have you here. We have so much going on, and I'm kind of getting excited about Hot Melt 30 because it is around the corner. If you've been paying attention, you know that we just did a webinar on it. So I've got all the information that you might need. The kits are massively on sale for 25% off. Plus, we're giving away free Hot Melt Sprint books. These little booklets. One has the guide and the other one and some recipes, and the other one is just recipes. There's a food journal in there and everything. People, don't you like stuff already done for you like this? This is really awesome. It's $20 value. We're giving it for free for those who get the kits. You want to know how to do that? All right. First of all, savingdinner.com/30, THIRTY. Spell that out and you'll get the webinar. And if you want to go get the kits and snag them for 25% off, I'm telling you, 25% off. Plus we're giving you this, right? That's at savingdinner.com/show. You know, usually they're 15% off, which I think is super generous. 25% off is really generous. Take advantage of that. We've got people buying 2 and 3 kits. You know why? So that they can stock up and they're always ready to go and they're going to take advantage of the sale. You can too. That's how it works. Anyway, that's what's going on with all of that. What else do we have going on? Well, you know, I've got a thermos here full of hot melt mix and what else? Our wonderful Crave Water. Crave Water is L-glutamine. L-glutamine helps with cravings. It helps keep your muscles from being too sore from working out. And it's amazing for gut health. I cannot emphasize what an important supplement is. It's a simple amino acid, but it does a lot of different things and it just makes everybody feel so much better. You can find that at savingdinner.com/Crave Water. That's where we're hiding it. Not hiding it, you know. And I'll tell you what, those people that I was just telling you about that are buying 2 and 3 kits at a time because they are 25% off, they're getting also another discount, which is no shipping. They're not paying a dime in shipping if they live in the lower 48. That's how that works too. So I'm just letting you know, we have things going on and we take care of our people. That's what we do. That's part of our plan. So heads up on all of that. You can find everything, you know, and everything, by the way, we keep it located at savingdinner.com/announcements. That's where all the things are. But the kits are at savingdinner.com/show. Webinar, savingdinner.com/30, THIRTY. And there you go. Those are my things that I'm telling you. Now, the quote of the week, it's a zinger. Tell me what you pay attention to, and I will tell you who you are. What is up with that? Did that zing you? I think it's a zinger. You know why I think it's a zinger? It's a zinger because it's bringing us back to ourselves. And it's saying what you are doing is who you are. So we got to look at that, don't we? All of us. Because it's true. It's true. And when you get those notifications on your phone saying you spent 10 hours on your cell phone today, And you're thinking, what do you mean I spent 10 hours on my cell phone today? Because I got that notification the other day. Now, not an excuse, but I will tell you, I spent a heck of a lot of time on TikTok, both creating videos and doing some research. So that's part of my whole thing. But, on a normal, like if that were a Sunday or whatever, when I don't spend time on my phone, I would have been a little bit horrified. We need these kind of reminders though, always. So who am I missing? Who didn't I say hello to? Who came in? Sue's here. Hi, Sue. Nancy, cheers. Mother hen, good to have you here. And what else? Oh man, that's all that said hello. Where is everybody? It's Wise Women's Wednesday. You're supposed to be here. Anyway, if you're here, you're here. If you're not, well, okay, you lost. You snooze, you lose. That's all I have to say about that. Glad you're here, and I'm glad you're all about what's going on with this Hot Melt 30, by the way, because we have a lot of people signed up. I'm excited about that. We will be sending you, by the way, if you have signed up, if you've bought the guide or a kit or whatever, and by the way, when you get the kit, you also get the guide absolutely free. The guide's usually $27 value. So there's great value in getting those kits. Just saying. But if you have that, we are going to invite you to a contract signing. And that contract signing is going to be happening on Monday, August 31st. It's invitation only because it's only for those who are committing. So that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I mean, otherwise, why be there? It's for those who are committing, those who've decided this is what I want to do, those who've made the choice to say, I want progress in my life, not excuses. That's all. Because it's everything. It's not just about this is eat the hot melt 30, eat the hot melt way for 30 days. It's not just that. It's all the things without piling on too, by the way. So I am very proud of this program, and I really strongly suggest that this is something, if you've been just trying to get everything going and it just doesn't seem to come together, this will show you how. Okay? Let's do it. It's time. So today I'm going to talk about, and I've got another idea too. I'll introduce it shortly. But this whole week we've been talking about the gap. And the gap is where we're standing here. There is our goals. And in between that is a gap. And we have to build the bridge. And the bridge basically works out to be new neural pathways in our brains. And the gain is when we're standing in that position of where the gap is and saying, but look at all the things that I have done. Look at all the things I have achieved. Look at this, look at this, look at this. It's coming from a place of not scarcity, but abundance and appreciation and gratitude for the things that you have accomplished. Because having that kind of a mindset makes it easier to understand what the next thing is. But today I want to talk about something that really gets in the way of achieving those goals. Besides the gain and the gap and all of that we're talking about, I think we've talked about that. I think that's understood. We can understand that. But the next thing that we need to talk about, which I think is crucial, is this whole idea of where excuses fit in and how we use them. Because excuses can just absolutely unhinge the whole thing. And when we're in this place of excuses, we find ourselves also in the place of having this like bag of tricks. What can I pull out to get me out of that? And we think they're genuine and we think they're real. And at the end of the day, we are either going to have satisfaction or frustration with ourselves. And oftentimes what is wrapped up in this frustration, gift wrap, if you will, are a bunch of excuses that we have ladled out. And excuses sometimes become habitual. It becomes a way of life. It becomes the way that we do things. It becomes a very narrow way of looking at our lives and the obstacles that are surely going to present themselves and seeing them as absolutely insurmountable. No question, there's no way to get around them. When in fact, if we have followed, the way that our brains work, everything is indeed figure outable. Everything is. So Benjamin Franklin had this really keen insight. Listen to what he said. He said that he that is good, I'm going to say she because we are a bunch of women. She that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. We become good at making excuses, experts even. And this just paints a very vivid picture of what our human tendency is to look for something to say, well, I just didn't have time. Big, big, big one, isn't it? And my reply to that is always this: we all have the same 24 hours in a day, every single one of us. And yes, I know life can be different. It can be complicated. It can be a season in life where things just kind of get, you know, very difficult, where you don't have a minute to breathe and none of your time seems to be your own. But we have to reclaim it and we have to look for it and we have to find it, because nobody else is going to live in your skin except you. Nobody else is going to either say, I'm satisfied with the way my life is going, or I'm really frustrated with it right now. And one of the reasons that we have goals is because goals are measuring sticks. Goals are ways for us to take our to-do list and have our to-do list make something epic out of our lives. That's exactly what they are. It's not just a desire or a dream. It's a dream with a deadline and a to-do list is what it is. And so if we look at this and understand that excuses are always going to pop their heads up, they're like little, prairie dogs. I've told you my prairie dog story. When I lived in Boulder, Colorado, there was this huge field that was very close to our house. And I used to always get a kick out of just watching the prairie dogs put their heads up and down and up and down and up and down. And I always thought, isn't that just like what an excuse is? It's because as soon as one thing comes up, then there comes another, here comes another, and here comes another. And it's just the way it is. So when we're in that place, and when we're even in a season of life where things just seem to be going, is there, can we just get a break here? It seems like things are just piling on. It's one thing after the other. You have to take a time out. You have to take a look at what's going on in your life and make a really honest assessment. This is where our time block sheets are just everything, because then we can really see where the actual time is going. Time block sheets tell the truth. Time block sheets don't give us the benefit of the doubt. Time block sheets say your time went here. You spent 10 hours on your phone today. You did X, Y, and Z today. This is what happened. And then from there, we can say, well, in this, I've heard this one too. Well, I need a little break sometime. 10 hours? Do you need a 10-hour break? The avoidance that we have sometimes with ourselves and, trying to figure things out and be on top of accomplishing and doing the things that we say that we're going to do, oftentimes is the thing, We allow these things to get in the way of all of that, and that's the excuse that we use. So today I want to talk about this because, let me just put it to you this way. Excuses are the siren's call to all of humanity to say, stay in the comfort zone. Don't leave. Stay on the couch. Watch more TV. Keep doom scrolling. Oh, by the way, you're going to find all kinds of goodies in that pantry. Open the fridge and you'll find more. That is excuses, because excuses live in the comfort zone. Excuses keep us in the comfort zone. And the thing is that they're a lot like a mirage, right? And a mirage, as you know, is something that isn't really true. It just looks like something. And they're deceptive. It's fleeting. It's unfulfilling. And it might seem like just a minuscule minute of comfort, like, avoided that one. But then later on, you're left with feeling, I should have done that. I could have done that. I don't have an excuse for that. I just didn't want to do it at the time. And the didn't want us won. And didn't want is a pretty weak excuse. And oftentimes we're never that honest with it. We figure out something else to pile on top of that, so at least it looks a little respectable. Listen, we all do this. I'm speaking from personal experience here. I'm really good at excuses. As a matter of fact, I'm an expert when it comes to a good excuse. And I bet you are too. But in order for us to get what it is that we want, in order for us to go after a vibrant life, we have to go after goals, because goals are the things that are kind of the signposts of vibrancy. Accomplishing this, checking the box on that, creating this in our lives. It's our dreams that become reality when we have goals. Dreams with a deadline. You've heard that before. So I just want to also add to it, that excuses often come out of a cocktail of fear, complacency, and resistance to the unknown. And we all have that inside of us, and our amygdalas love it all day long. Keep me there. Keep me complacent. Resist this change. I don't like change. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. And fearfulness of all of this unknown stuff, right? This is why we like to stay the same. This is why we don't embrace change, because our amygdalas, the most primitive part of our brains, are saying this is what we need to do. And when our amygdalas have a voice, this is basically like the brainstem, then our prefrontal cortex is asleep at the wheel. This is where all your intellect lives. This is where your ability to abstract think and to figure out solutions to your problems are, and to your obstacles and to your excuses, and figure out, my goodness, this is what I'm doing, is I'm making a bunch of excuses. So temporary solace, maybe, gives you a pass, darted that one and go sit back out on the couch or whatever. But they anchor us into a quagmire of stagnation and zero growth. And it keeps us from becoming the women that we're supposed to become. We're all called to this planet. We're all called. We're here on purpose and for purpose. And we're not here to sit and pleasure ourselves sitting on the couch, throwing a bunch of crap down our faces, watching TV all night or all day or whatever. That's not a purpose. That's a waste of time. And you know what? I shouldn't say it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time when that's it. That's just all there is. And I feel this way, and I've even said to Mark, it's just like too much TV, I just can't do it. And so oftentimes what I will do is, if he wants to watch it, that's fine. And oftentimes if he wants to watch something, it's usually violent stuff that I don't want to watch. I'll put my earbuds in. I'll get busy. I'll get out my journal, and I'll do something that's a little bit more purposeful, and it feels a little bit more constructive rather than just sit there turning into a puddle of mush on the couch. I can't do it because it just feels so wrong. It's not if we're doing it in a way that is supportive of our spouses or whatever, but not to the extent that I'm saying. I'm probably over-explaining this, but you understand what I'm saying. But we also need to start charting our progress, right? And again, that's part of that whole gap and gain thing. And when we don't chart our progress, we find ourselves in a place where we don't see the progression, The progression is so critically important, because that is propelling us to the next level, propelling us to the next step, the next task, the next thing on our to-do list, our goals. It gets us there. And I feel like a lot of times we just don't appreciate something unless it's big and dramatic. And when the fact is, it's like, losing weight. You lose weight an ounce at a time. You don't lose it pounds and pounds and pounds at a time. That rarely happens. You lose it an ounce at a time, a little bit here and a little bit there. It adds up after time. This is the same thing with progress, So progress is the compass that directs us to our aspirations. It shows us this is what you're doing and this is how you're getting it done. This is good stuff. You've got this. That's what it shows us. And every stride that we take, no matter how small, propels us forward. And that fuels our journey toward that goal. And it gives us momentum. It gives us motivation, and it supercharges our self-belief. But you know what the thing that we need to do about this is notice everything. Notice the details. Notice the little things. Notice the fact that you said no to, your sister Brenda's chocolate lava cake. Notice that. Notice that you did this, and notice what you said to that, and all these other things. They all add up is the point. And we don't need to be dismissing them. We need to be writing them down. These are wins. And wins are progress. Wins get us to that other side. Wins are the things that fuel our goals, these little wins. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Jeanette. Jeanette says, what is it with men and their violence on TV? You tell me, because I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. To me, it's frightening. It scares me. So I don't do it. I don't do it. Keeps me up at night. So we have to figure out ways to skirt this excuse trap, because we all have excuses. We all have our favorites too, don't we? We all have the I don't have time one. That one's handy, isn't it? We can all pull that one out. We can play that card a lot if we wanted to. But if we understand that it is a trap, just like the comfort zone is a trap, the comfort zone and excuses, by the way, hand in hand. That's a sisterhood right there. And it's a sisterhood that I don't wish on anyone, not you, not me, no one. So we need to just get away from that and instead find ourselves going into the place of progress. Lean into it, embrace it. Every little tiny bit of it. And that's part of what I want you to see today, is that look for the little hints of progress in your life. Because if you are noticing and curious about things and just doing one little thing, saying no to maybe, that fifth taco or whatever, those are things that go on your side for progress. Okay. So what do you want to do? I got some unusual things that might help you to notice your own excuses and also give you a little bit of relief if you've noticed that they're happening too often. And number one is to give yourself a day of an excuse detox. We do that with digitally, don't we? The digital detox. We talk about that one where just take some time off and unplug the Wi-Fi for the day even and just be without. It's so great. Every once in a while on a Sunday, I will have absolutely nothing to do with. I'll check it at the end of the day or whatever. But it's so nice to not look at my email or whatever. The only time I'm ever, looking at my phone, I just want to make sure that should a child call, that I'm there for them, or should a friend in need call, that I'm available. That's it. Other than that, unless there's an emergency or whatever, people know how to get a hold of me. But I'm probably not going to be checking my email. That's probably a guarantee. So the other thing is, when you're doing this, you'll notice the difference in your productivity. You'll notice the difference in your mindset. You'll notice the fact that you're noticing that these whole excuses things, right? It's the truth. And this helps us so much because we need to give credit where credit's due. And if you are doing these things, then you deserve that. And number two is try an opposite day. So once a month, you do the opposite of what your initial instinct tells you, right? So here's the other thing. If you, this is what you could do. Lynn, this would be a good thing for you to do with your clients. Lynn's a personal trainer, so I think this would be a great day. So if they have someone, for example, if you had a client who said, I just didn't want to work out or whatever, but they still showed up, have them do an opposite of what just showing up is. And that is to work out with the most intensity that they can muster for the day. Not to harm themselves, but to show them and to override that amygdala. Because our amygdala is the queen of excuses. And if we want to be the queens of our own lives, then that amygdala needs to shut up and take a seat, right? This is who should be running the show, not your amygdala. So that's it's a pattern disrupt too, because we have these habitual patterns of saying things of, I didn't like time, or it's too hard, or, whatever. But this is a challenge that will reshape the way you think about things and the way you see things. If you say, instead of just dragging yourself through, really putting on the intensity, and then it's going to shift things a big time for me, for you, for everyone. So isn't that a fun one, Lynn? I thought you'd like that one. Number 3 is have a progress party. And let me just tell you something. We're going to have a progress party if you're in the Hot Melt 30. We're going to celebrate the progress. It's going to be a midway point. We're going to get a date. You'll hear about that again. If you're part of the Hot Melt 30 group, you will be getting an invitation to come. It's going to be a pajama party. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about where we are. We're going to talk about the challenges. We'll have hot seats. We're going to be there to support, right? Because progress needs recognition. And when we celebrate milestones like this, hey, we're halfway through. What we're doing is congratulating ourselves. Yay, we're doing it. We're halfway there. And we are pushing the envelope on our progress, I mean, this is great because it's saying, you know what? I'm saying no to my comfort zone. I'm saying yes to this new thing. And I'm in it all the way. I'm there for it. I've left my excuses behind and I'm celebrating these wins. Yeah, you're going to be there. Of course you are, Lynn. I think you're a Hot Melt 30er, aren't you? I'm pretty sure you are. And then we also want to be having accountability. You know, I'm telling you, and you know what? If you want to, you can post anonymously in our Facebook group. If you don't want to put a face on all of this, there's the ability to post anonymously. It's a new feature that they added with Facebook. But I just want to say that don't let things go unmentioned. Don't let what's going on inside of you just sit there and brew. If you're having a struggle with something and you can't figure it out, the sisters are there. And you don't even have to show your face. You can just say, I'm a blah, blah, blah. These are the issues that I seem to be having. I need the collective. Sisters, rise up, help me out. What do you think that's going to do? First of all, it's going to take your excuses and just completely throw them away. And, you know, you've heard me say before, don't crowdsource your nutrition or whatever, but crowdsource when you're stuck. Crowdsource, come in, see the sisters, ask for help, ask for those, especially those, hey, you who've done this before, you who have been successful before, because everybody wants to give advice, but I find the best advice comes from those who walk the talk, don't you? Yeah, so be specific on who you're asking advice from. And if somebody comes along and says, well, I haven't done this, but ignore that and go to the next one. But I promise you they will rally. I promise you they'll show up. And I promise you that if you ask for help, you will always, always get it. Everything is figure outable, but not if you're quiet. Not if you're silent. Not if you're sucking it in and just, putting up and shutting up. It's never going to work. Number 5 is to visualize the unexpected, because we don't want to just visualize success. We want to visualize big stuff. We want to visualize you going into a party and the jaws dropping. We want to visualize you saying X, Y, and Z. I did this and then this happened. We want to visualize scenarios that play out in a spectacular way of what could happen to you if you meet XYZ goal. You know what your goal is, you know what it's going to be about. I had a goal. This was part of my whole thing. And one of the goals that I had was going to Europe by myself. And I wanted to go to the south of France and all of this. And I made all of that happen. I didn't know how, but I wanted to do it all first class because I was going to be going by myself. And then American Express called me one day out of the blue and they said to me, do you know that you have over 1 million points? And you got these points every time you used your card and whatever. I was like, excuse me? And I started looking at all of that and I just went, you know what? There's my trip right there. Paid for the whole thing with points. It took me years to get them, but I never done anything with them. But see what I mean? You see what I'm talking about? I visualized something very unexpected, very grand, very outside of what my comfort zone was. And I made it happen in an unexpected way. And I say to you, same deal. Why not have a vision board that just makes your brain pop and go, ooh, fun, let's do this. Or that's a little bit unrealistic. So what? Let's see if maybe you get halfway there or 3/4 of the way there. Why not? You can also gamify your goals. You could do that with anyone. Just say, okay, let's collect points, and whoever has the most points at the end of the week, they're going to get, we're all going to throw in $5 and you're going to go get a manicure. You can even do that on Facebook if you wanted, in our Facebook group. But gamify it. Make it happen. Make it fun. Did you do these things? If you did these things, you get to check those boxes. You check all those boxes, you get X, Y, and Z points. Remember green stamps? My mom collected those, or blue chip stamps. Remember those? I don't know. We used to get like Tupperware or containers, or I don't know, little tchotchkes. I think we got a fondue set or something. I don't know. Embrace the learning swap, because for every setback, learn something entirely unrelated to your goal. Why not? You know what that does? It diversifies things, and it makes it not so much always about this one thing, but also this. So maybe one of the things that you could do, fun, by the way, maybe you're on a workout goal and you're doing all these things, and then you think, but in September or in October or next in the spring of 2024, we're going to be on this trip. I'm going to learn Italian. There's another thing. Because here's the thing. Our goals are always going to be peppered with a lot of decisions that need to be made. Am I going to choose to do this, or am I going to choose to do that? Am I going to excuse myself from this, or am I going to make progress on this? Those are always the questions. And there's ways that we can get around it and over it and under it and enveloping it, so that we're not falling back into the excuse trap, so that we're not living in the comfort zone. We are instead challenging ourselves on a daily basis, and we are making things happening and making those excuses go smaller and smaller and smaller. And when we do, and wise women know this, we dominate. We own our goals. Our goals become reality, not just dreams, not just pie in the sky. Because excuses will hold you back every single time. There's a way out. And these are some of the ideas that will help you get there. Alrighty, that's our show for today. Tomorrow we're going to wrap this whole thing up. We're getting ready for the Hot Melt 30 here. I mean, in earnest, man. We're ready. What about you? Are you going to be a part of this? Are you going to get your kit? Are you going to get your little bookie poos in the mail as well? Are you going to get your 25% off? Are you going to get also the guide for free? That's a big value. Check it out. I want you to really consider this. This could be life-changing for you. It was for a whole lot of people that I could list right now. Check it out at savingdinner.com/30THIRTY. It's all there. Peace be with you. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.